Have you ever just stopped and wondered, am I doing this whole life thing right? Well, today we're going to dive right into that question, and we'll be looking at some ancient texts that offer three, you might be surprised, very different answers.
And look, these aren't exactly new questions, right? For literally thousands of years, people have looked up at the sky, looked deep inside themselves, and asked these exact same things. They're kind of the fundamental puzzles of just being human.
And what's so fascinating is that there isn't one single one-size-fits-all answer. Nope. Instead, what we find is this rich, incredible spectrum of approaches. Each one gives us a totally unique lens to look at our lives and our place in the universe.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. We're going to explore three distinct spiritual paths. First up is the path of action, then we'll move to devotion, and we'll finish up with awareness. And you'll definitely want to stick around, because at the end, we'll see how these seemingly different ideas might actually fit together. Okay, our first path is, well, it's maybe the most straightforward. It's built on this idea of cause and effect. Think of it like a cosmic framework where every single thing we do, big or small, directly shapes our destiny. The main text for this path is the Garuda Purana. You can kind of think of it as a super detailed map of the afterlife. It's like a cosmic accounting system where every action has a reaction. And justice, well, justice is a fundamental law of the universe.
And this text gets incredibly specific. I mean, this isn't about some vague, abstract idea of being good. No way. It lists out actions with very real, tangible consequences. Everything from damaging public resources like wells to something like neglecting your family. The message is crystal clear. Your choices matter in a very concrete way.
So this journey is laid out as this really clear step-by-step process. After death, the soul doesn't just, poof, disappear. A new body is actually formed from rituals performed by the family. And then it goes on this tough journey where it literally confronts the consequences, the fruit, good or bad, of the life it just lived.
This quote really just nails the whole philosophy of the path of action. It's all about responsibility. This way of thinking suggests that the whole point of being human is to live righteously, because every single action is like planting a seed that is absolutely going to grow into something later on.
Okay, now, let's switch gears and look at a completely different approach. We're moving from a path that's all about cosmic rules to one that's centered on a personal, divine relationship. This is a huge shift in perspective. On this path, the focus completely shifts away from, keeping a cosmic ledger of good and bad deeds. Instead, the ultimate goal is what's called bhakti, or devotion. It's a state of really deep love, trust, and just surrender to a higher power. It speaks to that deep human need for connection, for a relationship that goes way beyond the transactional nature of karma.
This quote, wow, it just perfectly captures the feeling of a devotee. It's all about total humility and trust. See how the speaker isn't focused on their own goodness at all? It's all about the grace and the nobility of the divine figure. In this case, Rama.
So you can really see the contrast here, side by side. The path of action is all about carefully doing the right things to navigate the system on your own. But the path of devotion, that's about putting your trust in a divine guide to carry you through. And it's fueled by love, not by the fear of consequences.
All right, for our third and final path, we're going to turn completely inward. We're moving beyond actions and emotions and getting right to the very nature of consciousness itself. Now, this path kicks off with a really radical idea. The you that you think you are, your personality, your memories, your ego, that's actually the main thing getting in the way. It's seen as an illusion that creates this feeling of being separate from everything else. So the goal here isn't to perform better actions or to worship a deity. The goal is to get past the ego entirely. And the way to do that? By quieting that constant chatter that's always going on inside our minds.
And what's just incredible about this is that it's not some abstract, high-level philosophy. The Vigyan Bhairav Tantra is basically an instruction manual. It actually gives you 112 distinct meditation techniques, practical tools to help you reach this state of pure awareness.
Really, this entire path is about a fundamental shift in perspective. It's about going from being the actor who's all caught up in the drama of your thoughts to becoming the calm, detached witness that just watches them go by. So we've walked three very different paths, but they're all leading toward the same general goal, understanding our place in the universe. Let's pull it all together and put them side by side to really get the full picture.
This table lays it all out so clearly.
You've got the path of action, which uses righteous deeds to get cosmic justice. Then there's the path of devotion, which uses love and surrender to find union with the divine. And finally, the path of awareness, using meditation to dissolve the ego. 3 different methods, 3 different immediate goals, but all aiming for some kind of ultimate truth.
And it's so important to get this. These are not necessarily competing paths. You can think of them more like different tools in a spiritual toolkit. They address our actions, our hearts, and our minds. They really just appeal to different parts of who we are, our need for order, our capacity to love, and our own quiet inner curiosity. So, in the end, these ancient texts don't just hand us the answers. They kind of turn the question back to us. Where do you find meaning? Is it through your impact on the world, through your capacity for love, or in the quiet stillness of your own consciousness? Maybe the most timeless question of all is the one we have to ask ourselves.